Hello, and welcome to the launch of the Circulars Accelerator 2023, a deep dive into the world of the circular economy and a chance to meet some of the most exciting entrepreneurs who are accelerating the transition to a more sustainable world. I'm Emanuela Orsini, your host today, broadcasting to you from the World Economic Forum headquarters in Geneva. I'm thrilled to be here with you to announce the launch of this year's Circulars Accelerator program, an initiative that started in 2021, led by Accenture in partnership with Anglo American, AWS, Ecolab, and the World Economic Forum's innovation platform, UpLink. Last fall, UpLink launched the Circulars Accelerator 23 Challenge, its third challenge, calling for solutions from companies around the world who are working on the most promising circular economy innovations. The call for solutions received over 300 submissions, which has been narrowed down to a list of 16 winners, who will now join a 6-month accelerator program to scale their startups. We'll find out more about them shortly. We'll also talk to industry insiders and experts on their hopes for these inspiring innovators and why the world needs more like them. But first, let's talk to someone who is a pioneer of the circular economy, Accenture's Peter Lacey. Now, Peter, tell us about the current landscape as far as the circular economy is concerned, the progress that is being made, and what your hopes are for the entrepreneurs we're going to hear more about today.
Thank you, Emanuela. I'm Peter Lacey, Global Sustainability Services Lead and Chief Responsibility Officer at Accenture. And I am delighted to be here today to launch the Circulars Accelerator 2023. I want to start by thanking everyone who's joined us to learn more about the 16 initiatives and startups selected to be part of this year's cohort. For me, the importance of circular economy transformation is paramount, as 2023 represents the halfway point of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, as well as the 2030 milestone set out in Paris for climate change. And business leaders are facing unprecedented challenges and headwinds in macroeconomics, geopolitics, and all of the challenges that we know that we face as a set of global leaders. Today's make waste linear model is exacerbating these challenges and crises, but the principle of the circular economy, the fourth industrial revolution, and everything that's taking place across the digital, the biological, and the physical space means that there are now possibilities and routes for us to do well and do good and to create positive change. And to unlock the power of circular economy, it's imperative that we cultivate cutting-edge technology and innovation that will be the foundation for a sustainable future. And the Circular Accelerator sets out to do just this by connecting disruptive entrepreneurs with industry leaders. If you like, to create that connective tissue or the sandbox, the playbox that actually allows those entrepreneurs to scale at speed, to inject leading innovation into existing ecosystems, to build those radical partnerships and those models for rapid transformation that allows us to think about playing a different game in the second half of the SDGs than we have in the first. And as we enter the program's third year, we've made over 400 advisory and commercial connections between those innovators and clients and large companies and broader sets of industry value chains, or if you put differently, the circular ecosystem. The circular alumni, the circulars, and the Circular Accelerator alumni have already demonstrated innovative ways to leverage technology-enabled innovation to reinvent business at scale and at speed, and to redesign even entire value chains in some examples. And you'll get to hear more about this later in the program, and I have had a wonderful time listening to some of the stories that have emerged from the connections over the last few years. Our new cohort spans 5 continents. So it's a really global effort and represents the innovations across the circular economy, across many different industries. And I look forward to seeing how they're going to help to accelerate the circular transformation. At Accenture, I am, my CEO Julie, and our leadership team are deeply committed to advancing the circular economy as circular transformation allows businesses to become more resilient, to identify new pathways for growth, while really contributing to human-centric systems redesign, which is about restorative and sustainable futures that are able to provide enough for all forever, as Bill McDonough puts it, one of the fathers of the circular economy, with his book Cradle to Cradle. I'd like to close by thanking all of those involved, the WEF and UpLink, but also our partners Anglo American, Ecolab, the Amazon Web Services team, the World Economic Forum team, and also the network of circular advisors and champions and investors who've played a crucial role in this program over many years now. Congratulations again to cohort 23. Welcome to the Circulars Accelerator, and back to you, Emanuela.
Thank you, Peter, for that inspiring message. Now, the moment of truth. It's time to announce the winners of the Circulars Accelerator 23 Challenge. Now, as a reminder, we received over 300 submissions to this innovation challenge, and now 16 winners from all over the world have been chosen to join an accelerator program and to become welcomed into UpLink's network of top innovators. Now, these innovators are tackling a diverse set of challenges in a number of ingenious ways, from turning farm waste into clean energy to converting commercial vehicles so that they run on 100% electricity. They're even growing mushrooms in the desert. Now, let's find out more about all of them in this video. How inspiring to learn about all of these companies that are transforming these traditional industries and giving our methods of production and consumption a complete overhaul. Congratulations to all of the winners. Now, to hear from one of these innovators, let's go over to Daryl Brown, President and COO of Ecolab, who's interviewing Kobe Nagar, CEO and co-founder of 374 Water.
Thank you, Emanuela. Hi, my name is Daryl Brown, Chief Operating Officer at Ecolab, and I'm thrilled to be here today to celebrate the 2023 Circulars Accelerator cohort. For 100 years, Ecolab has partnered with our customers to protect people and the resources vital to life. As the global leader in water, hygiene, and infection prevention, we believe that businesses can and should play a central role in mitigating the world's sustainability challenges. And we know that sustainable future cannot happen without circular innovation. That's why we're proud to join other leading organisations like Accenture and Anglo American to advance the circular agenda. The Circulars Accelerator brings disruptive business models and innovative technologies to the global scene through action-focused collaboration. And in doing so, it helps tackle some of the planet's most pressing challenges. The companies featured here today are inspiring examples of how we can disrupt and transform ecosystems. We have been privileged to share experiences with and learn from the innovators who are tackling these challenges head-on. We are very excited to welcome the 2023 cohort of innovators. I have the pleasure of introducing one of those companies to you today, 374 Water.
Great, so Daryl, great to be here. 374 was founded really to provide a much needed technology into the environmental space. So after more than a decade of research, me and my co-founder, Professor Mark DeSuze, were able to spin out our company from Duke University and create a successful social impact clean tech company.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, Kobe, the S supercritical water oxidation process feels as if it's a really core technology to the solution. Can you give us an overview of the process and how circularity is embedded into that solution?
Yeah, absolutely. So in order to unpack the core tech, we really need to dive into two new concepts. One is supercritical water, which really teach us how amazing water can be, acting as a solvent and a catalyst to break down organic matter. And the second is the oxidation process that convert waste into clean water, energy, and minerals, and fully mineralize simple but also complex organic waste in a matter of seconds. You know, that technology, we call it SQO for short, really opens up the possibility to look at waste as the resource of tomorrow. And since our systems are very compact, we are able to treat waste at the source where the waste is being generated and really create a local reuse circle. So that's how we make it applicable.
Great. Well, you made that sound very simple, but I'm sure it's incredibly complex. So what have you so far accomplished with the SCWO process so far to date?
So first of all, you know, everything is complex until you break it down, and then it becomes simple. But what we have accomplished so far, we actually converted, you know, more than 250 type of waste, including some of the most difficult one like PFAS and microplastic, into clean water and energy. And we have scaled up our solution to a mass produced product that can serve multiple industry at the same time. So that's what we have done so far.
Fantastic. And I know that 374 Waste is on a mission to preserve and clean and healthy environments, sustain life. What's your vision for the future of 374 Water?
So what I'm envisioning is really becoming the go-to solution for challenging waste, and to build our ecosystem with like-minded organization to create a change on how we treat our waste and really elevate its impact on the environment and ultimately on our life expectancy.
Fantastic. And so how do you think your time with the Circulars is going to help you get to this stage?
Great. So my hope is that it will allow us to accelerate adoption in different markets and help us find strategic partner that can help us scale the tech in different regions.
Terrific. So hey, Kobe, thank you for your time today. We are super excited to follow you on your journey through the accelerator and to really help you to continue to drive impact for people and also for our very, very valuable planet. So all the very best to you, and thanks very much, Kobe.
Wonderful. Super is the word here. So I'm excited about it. Thank you very much.
Great to hear. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Fantastic to hear more about 374 Water's solution and how they are turning food and farm waste into water and clean energy. Now, let's take an even closer look into the daily lives of some of our latest cohort of circular economy innovators. To give you a taste of what it takes to turn a promising idea into a pioneering solution, we went behind the scenes at Amor Sui, Below Farm, and Green Jams.
Hi, my name is Boam Takudi. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Amor Sui.
My name is Tarun Jami. I'm the founder and CEO of Green Jams.
My name is Bronte Ware, co-founder at Below, and we are reimagining mushrooms. Let me show you how.
We're based here in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, which is only fitting because Amor Sui comes from a Latin word meaning self-love. And what we do here is to make it most convenient and accessible for everyone to get personal protective equipment that can protect themselves and the planet.
Below Farm is a UAE-based farm growing mushrooms in the desert all year round using local material. In fact, we use waste palm leaf from date farming, and we use the power of mushroom to convert them into nutritious food. We've already upcycled over 250 metric tons of date palm while reducing food miles and carbon emissions.
I come from Vizag, a coastal city on the eastern coast of India. At Green Jams, we created the world's only verified carbon negative construction material made from crop residues and industrial byproducts. We created Agrocrete because of the 45% share of buildings in the global carbon dioxide emissions and the massive amounts of crop residue burning that takes place across the world and in India. In India, about 100 million tons of crop residues are burnt annually, costing the country almost $27 billion in economic losses because of the loss of public health and worker productivity.
The first task of the day is propagating the mushroom spawn, and that happens right here in our mycelium lab. In fact, this is the first mycelium lab in the region. And here, not only do we cultivate our own mycelium spawn for our commercial mushroom production, we also do R&D into arid climate specialization to grow mushrooms in hot, sunny, dry, instead of dark, damp, and cold.
After I was burned in a chemical spill accident because my own personal protective equipment, or PPE, my lab coat was burned right through, I discovered a gap in the PPE market for products that prioritize the safety of the wearer and sustainability of our planet. Amor Sui's marry circular functional products with on-demand cleaning subscription that make it easier for enterprise and consumer to switch from disposable to reusable PPE.
Behind me is paddy straw, which would have been burnt otherwise in the fields across the country. But here in Meerut at our partners manufacturing units, we procure these paddy straw from fields close by, store them for the entire year and convert them into a high quality, durable and carbon negative Agrocrete.
Welcome to our substrate facility, where the main activity of the day takes place. Over here, we have our substrate, essentially the food for the mushrooms to grow on. For that, we use our giant sterilizer. And what happens is the guys mill all of our waste date palm on the other side, on the dirty side, put it into the sterilizer, 24 hours passes, it comes out nice and clean with no other nasties. They're inoculated with the mycelium spawn that we prepared in the mycelium lab, and then essentially it's a waiting game. What happens is the mycelium that has been inoculated into these grow blocks take over and colonize the whole block, turning it from brown to white in our incubation rooms. Then, once it's completely colonized, the grow blocks are moved into our grow rooms where we wait for harvest.
Manufacturing Agrocrete involves a 5-stage manufacturing process. It is completely based on low voltage electricity and has 0% emissions. It begins with a collection of raw materials, including the crop residues, the ashes, and the binder, which we manufacture in our secret manufacturing unit, and the processing of the crop residues, after which all of these raw materials are mixed together in a pan mixer, and then they're conveyed into a hydraulic block making machine. The block making machine punches it out into these beautiful blocks, which are then left out to be cured in controlled conditions for a duration of 7 days, after which they're dispatched to our customers.
Traditional PP supplier prioritize offering the lowest cost product. So they sell disposable gowns that may not meet safety standard. For example, this is the disposable gowns that was designed to deflect any infectious bodily fluid and is used in thousands of US hospitals. What you could see here that these disposable gowns may allow up to 4 to 14 times infectious blood and bodily fluid to cause infections throughout the hospital. It also could be ripped really easily. In the US alone, it is estimated that 22 billion disposable gowns are used every year, creating over 4 trillion tons of medical waste that's going to the landfill and will take over 400 years to decompose.
At the end of the day, when I get to see these completed projects taking shape, building the dreams of our customers, it gives me immense satisfaction. It also goes a long way to show that our customers essentially care for the planet and they're doing their bit to remove CO2 from the atmosphere and help reverse climate change.
At the end of the day, I like to take a big box of mushrooms home with me to cook for dinner. Mycelium is what has the power to break down organic matter and convert it into new materials, compostable materials. And we are looking forward to harnessing the power of mycelium and fungi as nature's decomposers to realize the endless possibilities that the fungi kingdom has to offer.
And the best part of my day is getting to come home and spend time with my family. Seeing my son's face and knowing that I'm doing my very best to move our world towards circular economy, to protect our health and preserve the beautiful planet we all lived in.
Such important solutions. It's going to be fascinating watching these companies grow in the near future as they continue on their entrepreneurial journey. Now, let's meet another one of the winners of the Circulars Accelerator 23 Challenge, Sierra Imani-May, CEO and founder of Rebundle, which is creating biodegradable plant-based hair extensions from banana fibers. Sierra is speaking to Anglo American's Freudius Cameron Johansson about her solution and her hopes for the future of her company.
Thank you so much, Emanuela. My name is Freudius Cameron Johansson. I am Head of Sustainability, Government and International Relations at Anglo American. And I'm really excited to be here today to be celebrating the 2023 cohort for the Circulars Accelerator. At Anglo American, our purpose is to reimagine mining to improve people's lives. And it's really essential that we support this accelerator towards a sustainable transition within the circular economy. We've been supporting the Circulars for a number of years now, so we've had a really long-term partnership, and it really does support our purpose, and we're so proud to be able to continue to support this program. Why are we involved in this? Well, we really believe that if we are going to make this transition, we need to have all the actors playing their part, and of course a huge part of this is around innovation. So if we're not innovating, we're not moving forward and we're not progressing as a society. And so for us to be able to support the Circulars is really critical to accelerate that innovation. And for us, it's just so important to continue that learning. We have a lot of challenges in the world that are very complex, and we need everybody to really play their part. We've been involved, like I say, for a number of years now, since 2021, I think, and it's really great that we can see how the different innovators are progressing and moving forward and how they're playing their role in the future. We really want to participate as much as we can. So again, not just sort of giving one type of support, but we want to really help the innovators to progress. So giving support through different engagements, also from learnings, and really making this a sort of two-way learning opportunity for everybody. Today is an opportunity for us to meet some of the innovators from the 2023 cohort, and I'm really delighted to introduce one of those companies, which I just was really moved by and found so inspirational. So now I have the great honor to talk to you a bit more about Rebundle, and to actually go directly to Ciara to actually ask her a bit more about her innovation and her company.
Thank you, Freitas. Thank you for having me here.
All right, so I have some questions, Ciara. So to kick us off, can you tell us a little bit more about the story of Rebundle and how it came to being? I mean, I said I found it so, why hasn't this been done before? But it's just so creative and so innovative. It's just fantastic. I'd love to hear more about that.
I sort of had the same epiphany when I got the idea for Rebundle, like why has this not been done before at the scale that it needed to have been done? And it really was just a world, bringing two worlds together between my Black hair care experience and my passion and interest in sustainability. While wearing braids in the summer of 2019, I recognized that they were really uncomfortable, painful, and itchy. And I just wanted answers. I was just curious, like, what is the reason for this discomfort? And in that research, I started to sort of unpack and unravel a lot of the layers to where hair extensions are sourced from, how they get here to our country, how they're distributed, what they could be made out of, and sort of had this realization that the discomfort that I was experiencing was likely linked to the materials being used in those products and their lack of recyclability or sustainability, and just was curious if there was a way for me to continue to wear hair extensions both comfortably and sustainably. And so the idea was just born out of my own curiosity and my own need for something different in my own life.
Oh, it's amazing. And then some of the statistics really blew my mind. So I think you said something like 30 million pounds of plastic synthetic hair goes into US landfill each year. I mean, that's a staggering number. And I guess, what is Rebundle doing to sort of counter this? What are your sort of fundamental principles in your offering? Because I don't know, it's just, like I say, I was just blown away by this.
We sort of approach it from two different angles. The first one is with providing an alternative. Our first product, which is called Braid Better, is made out of banana fiber with all non-toxic ingredients, biodegradable ingredients, and really addresses the health and environmental disparities that I recognized all those summers ago now. On the flip side, what I was looking for was a way for me to wear my hair both comfortably and sustainably, and learned that it wasn't necessarily possible with the way that plastic hair extensions are made today. So I started the recycling program just as a way to take care of the waste that I knew was already being created in the industry, and to give our community an opportunity to choose sustainability no matter where they are in their journey. If they're not ready to make the switch to a more sustainable alternative, or if they can't afford it, or they're allergic to them, you name it, there could be a number of reasons why someone may not be ready to switch to banana fiber hair extensions, but at least we have the recycling program available to them.
Yeah, no, it's great. And then not just did you have, or you bring this sort of transformational environmental sort of impact from the synthetic hair, but also there's a big focus on kind of social sustainability. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Because there's a huge social impact component to Rebundle, which again is really fantastic.
So I thought that it was in everyone's best interest to present all the information that we could come across, all the information that we were researching, and give people an opportunity to make informed decisions. So from a societal standpoint, we're really unlocking the gatekeeping that's taken place in this space about how hair extensions are made, where they're made, what they're made out of, where they come from, etc., and giving people an opportunity to decide if that's something that they still want to put their dollars behind, and really putting a communal effort behind how we combat those things, i.e. where the products are made right here in the United States, in Missouri, where I was born and raised, where we distribute them direct to consumer, and identifying other unique opportunities to meet customers where they are, where they can have a positive buying experience, how we connect with braiders via our directory, giving them an opportunity to have a say-so in how the products are made and where they're distributed as well. So I think one way that I've been able to circumvent a lot of the roadblocks and gatekeepers in this space is by literally going around them and building the brand around what I know is a problem in a bunch of different areas and bringing them all together through our company.
Yeah, that's great. And going direct to the people whose lives are impacted by this, basically. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Well, look, congratulations once again on the selection for the Circulars Accelerator cohort this year. I mean, it must be super exciting for you. Where do you hope to see Rebundle going in the future?
I have a bunch of ambitions for the company, but as it relates to this accelerator, I think there's an immense opportunity for us to create circularity through our product and through our company as a whole. And that was the big driver for me to apply for the accelerator. And I know that there's a big interest in seeing our products on shelves in retail. And so it's also a goal that I have is to figure out where else we can offer this product to get it to as many people as possible.
Oh, that's great. And how do you think your time in the accelerator program can help you get there? Is there anything you need specifically?
Yeah, so there's a lot of kinks that we need to work out internally for us to really build a more circular model. And so I think that I'm in the right space with the right group of people that can help us figure those pieces out. And then more generally, introductions to potential retailers and partners and maybe partners that we didn't necessarily think about initially, but could help us drive our mission, not only here in the States, but internationally as well.
That's great. Well, listen, we're all behind you and really looking forward to supporting you. So thank you so much, Ciara. We wish you the best of luck. And it's just such an incredible innovation that you have. So again, all the best for this program and all the best for the future as well.
Thank you, Freudis.
Thank you for that interview, Freudis, and for all of your insights, Ciara. Best of luck with the Accelerator program. We're excited to be working with you. Now, in our final segment today, we're going to go to a panel discussion, which will be moderated by Wesley Spindler, Sustainability Strategy Director and Global Circular Economy Lead at Accenture. Wesley will be speaking to Ilan Glazer from AWS and Brian Bauer from Algramo. Now, Algramo, which allows customers to refill household products using dispensing machines located all over Chile, is a previous winner of this Circulars Accelerator Challenge from back in 2021. So it will be really interesting to see how this company is doing and how the program has helped them grow since they joined UpLink a couple of years ago. Let's hear from them.
Thank you so much, Emanuela. Since 2021, the Circulars Accelerator has worked with leading innovators to solve their business challenges and enable them to scale. Key to the Circular's success has been connecting cohort members to the broad circular economy ecosystem, which includes corporates, the investor community, the public sector, and of course, subject matter experts. To bring this ecosystem to life, we wanted to invite two of our partners to speak here today. First, I'd like to introduce Ilan Glazer, who is the Circular Economy Lead within the Global Impact Computing team at Amazon Web Services, which supports the lives of humans, other species, and the environment with the power of digital technologies. We also have Brian Bauer with us. Brian is a Circular Economy and Alliances Lead at Algramo and was part of the inaugural cohort of the Circulars in 2021. At Algramo, Brian works to build innovative partnerships with multinationals across the world to scale and realize the potential of the circular economy. Thank you both for being here today. In our discussion, we'll hear from Ilan and Brian on why the circular economy is business critical, how embracing circularity is transforming their businesses, and the unique role that the Circulars Accelerator plays within the larger ecosystem. So with that said, to start us off, I'd love if you both can share what motivated you to pursue innovative circular work in your industries. Ilan, over to you first.
Thank you, Wesley, and thanks for the introduction. So as you said, the mission statement of the Global Impact Computing team at AWS is to support the lives of humans, other species, and the environment with the power of digital technologies that we have here at AWS, such as AI, ML, blockchain, IoT, big data analytics, high performance computing. So because of that and the current climate of the convergence of all these technologies, see, for the lack of a better term, paradigm shift, where we're moving from the second industrial revolution, where we had all the older technologies, into a new phase of growth, where growth is decoupled from the use of resources. And we believe that the power of those digital technologies and the convergence of them is a huge enabler for the circular economy. So that's why we're really excited to be here right now.
Absolutely. Great words to start us off with. Brian, over to you.
Yeah, that was a great intro by Elon about the work AWS is doing. And I think there's a really good segue between the work they're doing and what Algramo's doing. What we do is we look to take something that's every day, one of the most common things, which is FMCG packaging. We make it smart. We integrate technology into there so that we can create that change, not just do something a little bit better, but rethink the system, shift the system, and create a new way of consuming things where you keep resources in the economy for as long as possible at their highest possible value. And don't think about recycling after using something once, but only when it's absolutely necessary. And that's what Algramo does with its smart packaging, with its partners like Unilever, Coca-Cola, Nestle, and others.
Thanks, Brian. And I think what you're both alluding to is how over the past years, we've really seen some of this momentum building around sustainability and circularity across a number of different ecosystem actors, but particularly seeing great moves in the private sector. Could you therefore maybe share some perspectives or examples of how you see circular practices and business models driving these sustainability and business outcomes, and how you also see this accelerating in the future? Maybe Brian, if you want to continue first.
Sure. I think a really good metaphor for that is evolution. Evolution happens through mutations. In natural systems, there's things in place that can enable mutations to happen. But quite often in corporate business world, especially the big Fortune 500 level corporations, there can be kind of guardrails in place that can stifle mutations from happening. But in a business model like a startup where you have a team of 10, 15, 20 people who are not afraid to think differently, think outside of the box, you can get some really creative situations happen where you get like business model mutation. And if you can mix that sort of thinking and that sort of opportunity with a small startup, with a big multinational, and they're both interested in truly shifting and changing the system, you can get some collaboration opportunities that are 1 + 1 + 1 = 53. So that's one of the really exciting things I think about the circular economy in general and the circulars.
Absolutely. I like the plus equals 53. That's a fantastic way to think about the power. Elon, any thoughts to that?
Yeah, so private companies are doing an incredible work in advancing material science, for example, right? So AWS partnered with Accenture, Good Chemistry, which is a startup that came to us through Accenture, and Intel to spin up one of the largest ever supercomputers on the cloud on demand to solve for computational chemistry issue of eliminating PFAS from the environment. PFAS is also known as forever chemical, which is a chemical molecule that's been produced by humans since the 50s for waterproofing clothes and Teflon. So it's been accumulating in the environment and even in the human body nowadays. So with use of compute, we're able to find the molecule that destroys the PFAS compound, which is akin of looking for a needle in a haystack of the size of Mount Everest. So computational chemistry helped solve that problem, which normally will take years to solve. We're able to solve that in a few hours by spinning up 1 million computers together just for calculating this one molecule and then taking it down once the calculation was done. So this is the kind of partnership that we're really interested in, and we believe that with leveraging Accenture's network and AWS compute, by supporting the circulars companies of the cohort, we believe that we can add a lot of value for them and for the environment and circular economy agenda in general.
Absolutely. And talking to the circulars, where of course you both have been incredible partners, I would love to know how you feel your engagement with this program has impacted the thinking around your own journey. And with that as well, would you have any advice for our newest cohort members entering into the cohort today? Elon, if you want to continue.
Sure. So from my perspective, the value that the accelerator brings to AWS is because you guys do an incredible job in selecting the companies to come and participate. So from my perspective, what I would like to invite the companies of the cohort is for them, the challenge is for them to think big, right? This is also one of the leadership principles here that we have. So instead of just thinking big, think biggest. If compute was not an issue, what would be the biggest problem that those companies would like to solve? And that's where we think we can add value. Because of our scale, we think we can help them solve with the power of digital technologies for the problems that they're trying to solve. So working backwards from what they want to do and then accumulating with the knowledge and the technology that we have to offer, we believe that we can move the needle in this transition to a more circular economy.
Thanks, Ilan. And Brian, over to you. Tell us a little bit about your engagement journey with the Circulars. And again, being a prior cohort member, what advice would you give?
Sure. So one of the big things that I found most amazing about the Circulars was the quality of mentors that they bring to the discussion. One of them that I want to mention because it fits so well into the previous statement Elon made was from one of the mentors in the Circulars network, John Warner, Dr. John Warner, considered by many to be the father of green chemistry. And one thing I remember him saying is designing systems based on high purity, he's talking about chemistry here, is a trap, locking the system into narrow and demanding process conditions. Nature doesn't do this. Nature designs using molecular diversity. So that's kind of, I found that quote from John just profound, especially in the realm of chemistry. And that shows the quality of the mentors that you can get within this program. So reach out to those mentors, realize that all the speakers that come, they're amazing speakers. And what you need to do as a startup is you need to have a really engaged team that connects with all the opportunities that will come through the program, and try and think of a solution or an opportunity that you're working on within your startup that can potentially solve a big complex problem for the corporate partners that you're working with. And if you can do that, you'll hit a home run. And another thing, like all accelerator programs, you're going to get out what you put into it. Come with as much time and energy as you can, because the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. That's my advice. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. And let's hope that we're going to get a lot of home runs out of the program. So with that said, Brian, Elon, thank you again for being here and for your great support of the accelerator. It's fantastic to hear about your work, your journeys, as well as some of the advice that you're passing on along the way. Additionally, on behalf of the Circulars team, I would like to thank our program partners, advisors, supporters, and alumni for their continued support of the program, as well as all of you for tuning in. We're incredibly excited to work with this vibrant community to support our cohort and ultimately the transformation to a more circular system for all. As we have witnessed throughout today's program, this year's cohort of innovators are ready to create sustainable impact and to power this transformation. And we really can't wait to get started. With that, back to you, Emanuela.
Fantastic. Thank you, Wesley and guests. Well, that's it for today. We hope you were inspired by these amazing innovators. You'll be hearing a lot more about them on our social channels in the coming months, so stay tuned for updates. Now, the Circulars Accelerator 23 is, of course, just one of many innovation challenges that UpLink has held since it was launched at Davos 3 years ago. To find out more about the other challenge topics and to support our community of almost 400 top innovators, or to submit your own solution to one of our open challenges, make sure to visit UpLink and find out more. And of course, don't forget to follow us on social media. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.